Many sites in the Holy Land attract tourists for being sacred to the Abrahamic religions. This site, however, became a successful site for one main reason: the character who stands behind it, King Herod. Welcome to the Herodium.
Herodium is located in the edge of the desert. Herod, in his early days, before he becomes the king of Judea, escapes from Hasmonean leader Antigonus. He survives here during the battle. He remembers this event. He promises himself that one day he'll build something here. When he becomes the king of Judea, he built his administrative center.
In Herodium, Herod brings his lavish lifestyle to a peak. Similar to other famous sites like Masada and Caesarea, he uses a round structure as a leading architectural element.
It was a very special palace, a welcoming palace. We can see it in the lower floor, the swimming pool, and the garden. And we can see the big garden here with trees and water. The good life Herod had influenced his surroundings.
One example of this magnificent lifestyle is the theater, small in size but impressive in its structure, overlooking the beautiful view of the Judean desert.
During the time of Herod, the theater was active only for a short while. It may be open for the visit of King Agrippa.
The royal chamber sits on top of the theater. This room, which is still under maintenance and not open to the public, depicts some marvelous and rare fresco paintings.
This room serves King Herod and his guests during the shows in the theater. What's special in this site is that we can see the stairs here, which give the place its cone-shaped structure. When Herod covers this site, the whole compound becomes cone-shaped.
Why did Herod cover these facilities in his palace, some of which were hardly in use? Experts say that in his late years, Herod, who saw the downfall of his kingdom, decided to turn his palace into a huge mausoleum. In 2007, archaeologist Professor Ehud Netzer claimed to find Herod's tomb.
We can see behind me the base to Herod's grave. It is the lower part of the mausoleum where they found sarcophagus of Herod and his family. We can see, according to the model, which stands next to the remains of the grave, that the mausoleum was around 25 meters high. Today, only a few remains were left after the Jewish rebels smashed it.
After Herod's death, Herodium continues to be a substantial administrative center for the Roman Empire. A recent discovery depicts a copper ring found 50 years ago in Herodium, bearing the inscription of Pilate. Suggested by experts, it is a second artifact which refers to the infamous Roman judge who is responsible for Jesus' crucifixion. Herodium also played a major role during the Great Jewish Revolt of the 1st century CE.
During the Great Jewish Revolt, Jews who fled Jerusalem arrive here. They use the facilities, the room here, at Herod's fortress. They use all these facilities to protect themselves from the Romans who were chasing them. Inside Herod's palace, there is also a big lounge. The rebels use this lounge and turn it into a synagogue. They do it by adding 2 rows of seats, so the luxurious lounge becomes a synagogue. It is a unique synagogue because it is not turned towards Jerusalem like many other synagogues we know today. The prayer here is not towards Jerusalem.
Herodium continues to be a refuge for Jewish rebels 60 years on, in 132, during the Bar Kokhba revolt. In both cases, Jewish rebels used the water cistern and built a complex tunnel structure to hide from the Romans.
The rebels use the water cistern for defense and offense, and also for living. They live in caves here. They don't live inside the palace because part of it was destroyed from the battles. Evidence shows living areas like kitchens, and kitchen tools, and daily instruments.
בחומרים שיש בארמון.
In 2010, famous Israeli archaeologist Ehud Netzer fell to his death in Herodium. It was the end of an era in Israeli archaeology. Netzer dedicated half of his life to researching the site. 8 years later, the conquest in search of many treasures which are buried on this site, along with the many questions around it, continues.